Hello, it's Martin here again. Welcome to another episode of converting Larry the Landy into an Overland camper. Don't forget to subscribe so that you know when the next episode is coming out. Last video I was looking at the bathroom and the kitchen area and the start of making the sofa bed. Now let's have a look at the rest of the living area, the platform and the seats and tables. Built a framework that is 20 centimeters high, and I've divided it into 4 sections. So these are like 4 cupboards, but horizontal rather than vertical, and then each one has got its own lid that fits on the top like that, and there'll be 4 lids like that. And what I'm going to do is put holes either side so that you can get your finger in to lift it out, and then that will all be covered with lino, the same as the lino that I've lined the inside of the structure. So what I've got to do now is stick on the lino and cut the holes, and then I can move on to building the tables and chairs. So there's each of the hatches with the lino on and the holes in so that you can put your finger in and lift the boards out. Now I've painted myself slightly into a corner here because the idea for the bed slats to come out was for there to be legs coming down on the inside of here, but that now overlaps this part by quite a bit. So I think what I'm going to have to do is have some sort of ledge on the other side when that is built, so that holds it. But I haven't quite worked out what I'm going to do yet, but it's a problem that I'm going to have to overcome now. So I mentioned in the previous clip that I got a bit of a problem with painting myself into a corner, really, in that by having legs on this part of the pull-out sofa, when it was across, the feet were interfering with lifting up the little access panels for the floor cupboard storage, and also the under seat storage that I've now built. What I've had to come up with is a complete redesign of the front of the sliding out part, and I put on this ply ledge, if you like, so when it pulls out, it now just lips over onto the seat and the table. I'll show you those in a minute, but it comes across. There's no legs underneath, so you can still lift up the little access panels in the platform, and you can open the cupboards underneath both sides. Again, I'll show you what I've done for the underneath parts. That seems to work quite well, and this whole unit also just lifts up so that you can get into the storage as well. So let's have a look at the table and chairs and see what I've done there. So this is the table that I've made. I think it was a bit of a wardrobe or something like that, or a chest of drawers, but I've used the top to build the top of the table because it's got a nice bevel to it, and it's hooked in on the wall side and then held up with one of these stainless steel tubes, which I happen to have from another camper van table that we didn't use, and so it's just been sat in the shed for ages. It works quite well. The clips are these brackets that you get for what you attach kitchen work surfaces to the cabinets, and as you can see, they've got a little curve up, and so what I've done is I've cut off this part here and just cut down on these parts so that they slide in together like that. This is the way that these sorts of brackets work that you spend a lot of money on, but I've made my own ones. So you've got one on either side. There's a piece of wood that I put in behind the ply when I first put it on the ply, so that because I knew this is where the table was going to be, and just to stop it tipping off of the hinges on this single leg, I've just put this piece of wood in here to stop it, and it's quite firm. So to release the table, all you do is pull out the 2 pins and get rid of that piece of wood, and then this lifts up, and you can see those are the clips there, and they fit into these recesses here. This will just screw onto the floor eventually. So when the table is out, then it fits down onto the 2 seats that I've made, and it fills up the space between the 2 so that you can make the bed. Let's look at the seats themselves then. So both seats are built in the same way. So I've reused some old kitchen doors for this face, and I've put a door on the front of each cabinet as well. Again, these came out of the kitchen, but I've also got a removable top, which is just out of OSB. So you've got quite a deep cupboard in there. So when the top is off, then you've got right the way down to the floor there. Just got the bit of wheel arch there, so you can access this cupboard either from the top and from the side. Now, a lot of places people just have access on the top, but what I've found is that when there's a couple of you in the van, it's a bit of a nuisance having to move somebody to get underneath. So it's always handy to have a little door to access the cupboard without having to shift all the cushions and shift the person. So as I say, the other side is identical. That goes over the water tank as well. And then I've put in this floor here. And again, this is lift up to access further storage underneath. Under the sofa, again, we've got a bit that lifts up on both sides so you can get at it from the top. But I've also put in these sliding doors as well so that you can access it from the side. This was, again, a bit of wardrobe door. So I put in those slides. What I would need to do is just darken down this to match that so that it doesn't look odd on that side. That is the sofa and the seats and the table all done. I can now go ahead and buy a couple of mattresses, cheap children's mattresses from IKEA. I find are best to cut them up to make the cushions, and then my wife Wendy will be doing all the cushion covers and the soft furnishings for it. So the final thing to complete the sort of living room area is creating the doorway through to the cab. So I've cut down some doors so that they're the right size to fit in there, done some nice surround to it as well, and I've tried to make it as airtight as possible so that you're not getting cold drafts coming through. Now, originally I was going to make the hatch so that it folded back once and then folded back again, but because of the insulation, you've got quite thick bits of hatch, which then it doesn't lay flat enough and it blocks this window here. So what I've done is I've made the first part just removable and the second part hinged, and then you can lay the first part on top of it and you can still see out the window. Open the doors and you've got nice easy access through to the cab. So as I say, try to keep the drafts out as much as possible so it's all nice and tight and fit. That fits on and that comes down, and there we are. It's a nice cozy finish to the living area.